Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for the Backrooms. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share them to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on the Backrooms, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, the Backrooms. I was looking forward to this one. I was, you would say, a casual fan when it comes to Kane Parsons and the Backrooms and that whole entire lore, because I loved his first sets of videos, which I believe were maybe 2021, maybe 2022. I watched all the way up until Real People got in, because he made it all in Blender, right? I believe that's what the software was called on the first sets, and I truly think those are some of the creepiest videos on YouTube. Hell, I'll put it up there with some competition within some movies with how unnerving those things are. But as soon as Real People started getting involved, I just kind of lost interest in it a little bit. I know he's still going on with it. Of course, you know, he made this movie, and I know this people has real people. This movie has real people in it, like Julia Ejiofor and Renette. I do not know how to say her last name, but I know it also starts with an R, so I do apologize for that. But, you know, I love Julia. I think Renette is also a great actress. Kane Parsons, I think, has a very, very promising future in filmmaking, even after seeing this movie. And this is his first feature-length film. This is his first movie ever be made. I think it's on record that he is the youngest filmmaker to make a movie at, I believe, 19 years old. I think he's 20 now, but he was 19 when he made the film. That's astonishing to think about. And overall, I thought The Backrooms was okay. And I don't mean that to be like, to be nice about, just because I'm such a fan of his. But overall, I think there were some growing pains within this film. I do think when it came to the Backrooms itself, I think that was executed very, very well for the most part up until we got to the end. And yeah, the stuff that we already knew Kane was good at, he utilizes here with all the new tools that he has, and he really takes advantage of it, and it's great. There are two sequences in this movie where it is basically found footage. And you're just, in a lot of ways, it's first person point of view, kind of like you're playing Call of Duty. And when you're in these back rooms within this, the opening to me is probably the scariest sequence of the whole entire movie. But, you know, you have this big open space of the back rooms. You know what it looks like, and, you know, there's not a whole lot of things to look at, and there's not a whole lot of places to hide. So when the person, when it's found footage, is looking over, and, you know, you kind of seeing what they are seeing, some of the scariest stuff that I was feeling throughout the whole entire movie, nay, this whole entire year, to be completely honest with you, is when the person will be walking and then turn around and then look back, and that camera going back and forth because of this open space, knowing there's a threat there, especially if you are aware of the lore, that you know something's coming, but you don't know what or when it will come. It's very frightening, especially when you're in that first person point of view and the camera's cutting back and forth and you're seeing basically what the person's seeing. Is very unnerving and very unsettling. And within those two sequences within the film, I think it was at its highest point. But that's also what we've come to know when it comes to Kane Parsons. That's kind of within his wheelhouse. When we are cinematic and we are not found footage, I think you do see some of the growing pains that are going through. Now, he had some amazing talent working along with him. And within that, the movie still, I mean, gets by is a very mean word to say, but I will say overall, the characters that were being played by Julia Ejiofor and Renette were kind of bare bones to me in a lot of ways. And within that stitching and going from place to place, and then as the movie progresses, and then we get to this all's revealed portion of it to explain where I do feel like I feel like the movie, feel like they had to explain what the characters' journeys were on. I was kind of sitting there going, really? That was the journey they went on? Okay. And it really felt really ham-fisted and very handheld about, hey, these are what these characters were supposed to do. And within that, again, just overall, I didn't feel much for the characters. But again, what you are coming for this movie to see is to see the Backrooms. And when we do get into the Backrooms, whether it's found footage or it's cinematic, because we have two sequences where the Backrooms is cinematic, and we have two sequences where the Backrooms are found footage. Both of them are all 4 of those sequences are very, very good. They're also mainly the portion of the movie. So therefore, to me, yes, when we're outside the back rooms, again, it's engaging enough because we have great actors within it. And also, I do think Kane Parsons does a great job as a director, whether it is not within the back rooms or not. I just see those growing pains. I think, yeah, maybe we need a couple more drafts on the script. I don't know if he wrote this, but I don't know if we need a couple more drafts with the script, or maybe, you know, as he was going through the editing to show what the premise is, you could just kind of tell, to me, personally anyway, it just felt like his heart, he wanted to be in the back rooms the whole entire time. And part of me thinks we probably could have done that. Like, we only really needed 90 minutes with inside the back rooms. We could have done this found footage style, and I think he could have really nailed it out of the parks. But, you know, he has those growing pains where, hey, maybe his heart's not necessarily within, you know, the character building and everything like that. Again, it's fine enough, but again, there's a lot of opportunities to do there for me personally as I was watching the film. The other thing I wasn't a huge fan of is that at some point the oohing and awing of the back rooms kind of became the law of diminishing returns. So what I mean by that is that, yes, because, you know, the portal to the back rooms is, I forgot what the term is called, but, you know, it's essentially a portal. That's not the right term, but, you know, it's a flat surface. You see it in the trailer. It's a flat wall. He can go through the wall, but it's only a certain sequence that he can go through. It's very abnormal, right? So when he's doing it, he does it like 3 or 4 times just to assure, okay, no, this is really happening. And that was really cool. Then later on within the film, when he's bringing along a couple people with him to go explore the back rooms, those same people, again, they're not going through it multiple times, but, you know, there's the oohing on, like, oh my God, I can't believe this is real. Okay, cool. Then we did another time. And at that point, like, each time it made 100% complete sense to do that, because how could you not be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is real. What the hell is this? How is this even possible? How did I even do that? But as a viewer seeing that for the 4th, 5th, and like 6th time, I was just like, okay, come on, let's get on with it. Yeah, I've seen the back rooms. Like, yeah, they're really cool. I understand it's new for you, but come on. Like, you know, I just became jetted. Not jetted. That's not the right term for it. But like very seasoned at that point. I'm like, yeah, no, it looks really cool. The setting is also very cool. Again, it's one of those things where your shoulders are up the whole time. You are very uneasy. But then again, once all's revealed and we see what the character's arcs was, or what they were supposed to be, where again I feel like, really, that was the arc that we're going on, and this sudden turn that a character has, to me, kind of felt abrupt and came from out of nowhere to me personally. And then when all is revealed, because again, like I said at the top, you know something's there, but you don't know what, and when that what is revealed, the tension kind of goes away at that point. It's no longer scary. You're kind of just in this room. Okay, well, I've now seen the threat. I know where the threat is. That big open space that's really scary of not knowing what is to come is, it kind of just deflates the whole entire thing. I also think the movie ends very abruptly too. It just felt like, oh, we can only go an hour 50 or hour 55, however long the movie is, and now we just end. Now, granted, that is kind of like in the sense of the back rooms, where, you know, there's a lot of more questions than answers that need to be made. And for a movie that answered a lot of questions, I feel like it answered none of them in some ways. But I also kind of like that mystery. But again, within a movie, you kind of do need to know, hey, this is where we're ending, so that we do have that sense of completion at the end of the day. And I honestly, I think I was like, when it cut to black and then the directed by Kane Parsons came, I was like, that was it? Like, it just felt very sudden to me. So yeah, again, this wasn't a perfect movie. Is this one of the better movies from horror this year? I would still say yes. I mean, May alone was very, very stacked. We had Hook'em, we had Obsession, of course, and then we had Passenger that came out last week, and then we had this. That's 4 horror movies that I overall thought was fine. If I had to rank the horror movies within May, I would say I would put Backrooms at second, with Obsession at the top, and Obsession being in a league of its own. But I think Backrooms is very fairly enough to be within that competition with Hook'em and even some of the other horror movies that came out this year. I just see those growing pains that Kane Parsons has. If this movie's going to make a fuck ton of money, right? And I think it's already setting records as we speak. I think within one day, it already became A24's biggest opening ever. So surely we're going to get another one, right? And if Kane Parsons wants to come on back and do it and amplify on the things that worked well, and if he watches the film, he goes, okay, I could do this a lot better, I think we're in for a treat where the second one could be the better. He's only going to get better with age, right? And he's always been within that 10 to 15 minutes of just pure intensity and just atmosphere, right? Now he needs to work on the other things, and he's only going to get that with more reps. Would I like to see him do other stuff besides Backrooms? Of course, but it does seem like his heart really is just kind of want to stay in this world a little bit. If I had to rank this on the lemon scale, where it goes sour lemon at the bottom, and then expired story about lemonade, bad movie, but hey, there's some good. Story about lemonade, good, but hey, there's some problems to it. Lemonade in the middle, it's a movie, it's fine. Freshly squeezed lemonade, very good, minor nitpicks here and there. And then strawberry lemonade at the very top because that's the best kind of lemonade. To me, Backrooms, I will say lemonade overall. Again, for the most part, we are in the Backrooms. That's where Kane Parsons wants to be. That's where the story wants to be. And that's where us as the people want to be within that movie. And whether it was cinematic or it was found footage, it was very unnerving up until it wasn't. But again, for most of the portion of that movie, it is. So therefore, I give it more leaning to lemonade as opposed to store-bought lemonade. But yeah, overall, I think it's a good time. I think it's going to be a good time at the theater. Head out to the theater if you do want to see it. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Backrooms. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video if you made it this far like this video if you made it this far. I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give you all. So squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.